much on these channels until we get it figured out. We're live on YouTube. Hello, everybody.
Yes, hello,
until we get this new system that we have figured out, we're not going to be commenting as much as we have in the past. Everybody, it's going to be more of a show, and where we can, we will go ahead and communicate with you guys anywhere we can if we see that you guys are making comments. But we're mainly here to do the show and bring all the news to you and do the reviews and everything like that in this podcast.
Right.
So in the future, when we get it set up better, we will take the time to, there's Captain Rickster.
Hey,
We will take the time to reach out more to you guys and be able to chat live. We want to get that fixed, but for now, we are live on YouTube. So hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody out there.
And we're also live on Facebook Live as well.
Yep.
And we have this new system. We think we got it figured out. We think that you could hear us. We think that our sync is synced up now, and it's not the best sound, but you're going to have to check in with our on our podcast. When you listen to the podcast, you need to check in and listen to that, because that sound is actually recorded off these microphones that we're talking through right now. So, but let's go ahead and get the show going. Today we're going to be talking about the Netflix show Wu Assassins. We're also going to talk about what's going on next week with the big D23 news.
Oh, yes.
Lots happening out there in the sci-fi world and everywhere else. And so let's go ahead and, Captain Rickster, shall we roll the tape?
Oh, yes. Let's roll it.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and roll in the intro, and we'll be back in a few seconds. Here we go. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. Live long and prosper, everybody. Ha!
Never.
Yeah. Time machine out of a DeLorean. Hey, everybody, welcome. We're back. Hey, it's Eric Walker, and I'm your host, Eric Walker, and sitting behind me is
Captain Rickster.
Hey, Captain Rickster. How's it been going this week?
It's been going pretty good. I just got back from Iowa last night. So,
wow.
I had a lot of fun down there. Stuff like that. So,
yeah.
The flight was a little longer than I wanted to.
Oh,
but, hey,
I'll bet. Yeah. So we are now live, everybody, on YouTube.
Yep.
We're live on Facebook, but if you want to chat with me, you got to go to YouTube. I am chatting now with some people on YouTube. I'm talking to Dante, who's on YouTube right now. Hi, Dante. I wanted to say hi to you guys.
Oh, hello.
And so everybody on the Facebook feed, jump over to YouTube. On YouTube, we are at AllForSciFi. It's all lowercase, AllForSciFi, AllForSciFi, one word, and you'll find our live stream there right now. So Okay, we got a lot to talk about today. This week, we've had a lot of announcements, so we're going to have to cover a lot for you guys. We're also going to talk about Wu Assassins, which is the new Netflix show that came out just a couple days ago. I think it was on the 8th or so it came out. So,
right.
yeah, so we're going to talk about Wu Assassins, and we're going to, talk about all the great news coming up with D23, the D23 Expo next week. I'm sure Disney's got a lot of great announcements coming for that. And they've made some major announcements already. Well, actually, the rumor mill has made some major announcements.
Rumor mill has made a lot, yes.
So we're going to cover all that and more. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're here for. Anyway, going back to YouTube Live, Dante says, hi, God bless to us.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, let's talk about some of the stuff that's been going on this week. And really quickly, I wanted to give a shout out and move on in peace to Peter Fonda.
Yes, he passed away yesterday, unfortunately.
Yes, Peter Fonda passed away. Became famous because of Easy Rider.
Yep.
And with Dennis Hopper. And I have, interesting enough, it's such a small world. They have that thing about 6 degrees of separation.
Oh, yes.
And it being such a small world, it really is a small world because Dennis Hopper was best friends with my mentor and acting coach, Virgil Fry. So Virgil helped Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda make Easy Rider.
Yes,
so
he did.
That was so I had a
excellent movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, no, it was Easy Rider was just a tremendous movie. It was well received at the time. It was a big hit too.
Oh, very big.
And
just for the time when it came out.
So I don't believe in this rest in peace. I want to start a new phrase. I call it MIP, which is for moving on in peace.
Right.
So moving on in peace is what I say. Or move in peace. MIP, move in peace.
Move in peace, yeah.
So thank you, Peter Fonda, for all the great memories, and until we meet you again.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot's going on this week with all the D23 stuff, so we got a lot of stuff to cover. But one of the biggest announcements, this just happened literally 2 days ago, and we're going to talk about it. And I pretty much, I'm not going to say I can confirm it because I don't want to get in trouble, but it looks like, Captain Rickster,
yes,
we are finally going to get our Obi-Wan.
All right.
So it's expected at D23, they're expected to announce that Ewan McGregor is agreed to don the Jedi robes again, wield the lightsaber, and become Obi-Wan Kenobi in a Disney Plus series. And they're expected to make that announcement at D23.
Right.
And we're going to be covering D23. So
yes, we will be there.
We will be there all 3 days. We're going to be covering all the announcements. So you'll see us there. We'll be streaming live. So everybody, please, make sure when you subscribe, you click that bell that they have next to that allows you to get the notifications.
Right.
Because you're definitely not going to want to miss any of our stuff.
No, especially in D3, it's going to be awesome deep down there to see everything what Disney's going to put out. Especially the rumor mill also is talking about talking about MV for 5, series 5. They're talking about that. I heard in the rumor mill.
Yeah, from what I understand, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. They're going to be talking about Marvel Phase 5. Yes. I understand. Yeah, so that's going to be quite exciting too. So a lot of announcements are going to be happening, and we're all going to be there to cover it for all of you. So
yes, really.
Okay. What else happened? We before we do the show, we gotta maybe clear our throats and drink some water.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So.
I haven't heard as much as you've had about the new sci-fi stuff, but
yeah, no, there's been a lot of stuff happening. We got we just talked about the Obi-Wan series with Ewan McGregor. And the reason why, by the way, I'm pretty sure this is happening and I'm not going to get in trouble is because a lot of the trade magazines like Variety, and Variety is a trade magazine out here. It's a Hollywood magazine. They are reporting that this is happening now. So, and I believe Steve Sansweet, who is used to be head of fan relations at Lucasfilm,
Right.
is posting stuff about it.
That's what I've heard too.
So if Steve Sansweet's posting stuff about it and Variety is saying stuff about it, you could pretty much guarantee that it probably will happen. But we'll know because they're supposed to make the announcements coming up here when we're there.
Next week, yeah.
So
I can't wait to see what happens with the new Ewok stuff too.
Well, I don't. I'm sure.
I like to see Mace come back out. You know,
that's never gonna happen, buddy.
Oh, Mace's daddy's got to go on there.
That's not gonna happen. Wishful thinking. I have a good friend, but I don't even know if I would want to play Mace again. To be honest with you, I think I would want to do something different. Although,
I think he should be his father.
Well, the father died. Don't you remember the movie? We actually saw. He was the only one that we saw who we actually saw him die.
That's true.
So I can't play the father. So that's.
As a ghost.
I might be able to play a relative or something like that, or I don't mind. I don't mind doing a different role. If a Lucasfilm anybody there sees it, give me a call. I don't mind doing something else. Being in a stormtrooper outfit, I don't mind doing something else. And talking, since we're still talking about Disney and Star Wars, which we talk about a lot on this show, Disney just announced that, this announcement was also made when they premiered the new Star Wars Resistance trailer for Season 2.
Oh, yes.
They've actually announced that this will be the final season.
Ooh, already?
So they're canceling Star Wars Resistance.
Man, really?
I think the reason why they're canceling it, Captain Rickster, is because because they got too much stuff they want to do, and I think Dave Filoni is going to do another different animated show.
Like which one?
Well, I don't know. I think he's.
Are they supposed to come out with a solo Han Solo TV series too?
No. Nobody said anything about that. But they got, Dave Filoni's doing The Mandalorian.
Well, that's definitely true. Yeah.
With Jon Favreau. Mm-hmm. So, which they both mentioned that the Caravan of Courage was a big inspiration for them. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Jon Favreau. Hey, I know you're joking, buddy, but shout back out to you for calling our old movie. But you guys are using some of our creatures from Caravan of Courage. Actually, the second Ewok movie, Ewoks in Battle for Endor. There's creatures that I forgot what they're called, but you ride on them. They're like dewbacks, but they're not.
Okay.
But they're creatures of Endor where they help travel in a caravan. Right. The Marauders had them. They are going to appear in The Mandalorian. So we know that's happening.
I wonder what they're going to do with the series they have right now for Marvel. Like Luke Cage and Iron Fist and all of them. What they're going to do with them? Hopefully they'll continue doing them because I know they stopped in mid-season.
Well, that's an interesting thing too. It's also what kind of deal does Netflix have, because those were Netflix shows.
That's true, and I see Netflix is still playing Luke Cage, but nothing else.
Well, they just had Jessica Jones the third season, so that just came out a month or so ago. But they're canceled, from what I understand, and I think they have a contract where they can't come out with them right away, but that's only for a certain period of time. But as you know, with Marvel Phase 4, Captain Rickster, they announced a lot, though.
A lot of new ones.
A lot of new series. They have,
they do, yeah.
Right, they have the Hawkeye series, and what else are they coming out with?
Immortals.
That's a TV series?
Yeah, I think it's TV series, yeah.
Okay.
Is it a movie? No, I don't think it's a movie. I think it's a TV series.
I think you're wrong on that one. I have to look it up. Somebody tell us. So yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some more about D23, since it's next week.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of the panels that they're going to have there.
Ooh, cool.
The biggest panels are going to happen in Hall H.
Yes.
Not Hall H. Hall D23 is what it's called. Well, it's called Hall H, and when other conventions are there.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Hall H is in San Diego. It's D23 and Hall D23 in Anaheim Convention Center.
Right.
Hall D. So.
Okay.
So and that has a seating capacity of 6,800 people.
Ooh.
So they could get a lot of people in there.
Yes,
so.
They can. We gotta get right up front.
I don't know about that. It's been hard to log in. They're having issues right now. It's been all over Twitter.
Yes.
All these issues that they're having with trying to get reservations because it's all by lottery.
Oh, yeah.
And they're having issues with that. So Okay, so on Friday, August 23rd at 10 a.m., they have Dancing with the Stars and Disney.
Good.
It's going to be hosted by Good Morning America's host Ginger Z.
Oh, that's good.
It offers a behind-the-scenes look at dancing with the Star Wars Disney Night stars, as well as a glimpse of what's coming up this fall with Dancing with the Stars. And the panel guests include the show host, of course, Tom Bergeron,
right,
and the co-host, Carrie Ann. And it's going to also some Mirror Ball champions are going to be there. Rashid Jennings, Jordan Fisher.
What about the judges?
There's going to be a few of them there as well.
Good.
And then later at 10:30 they have the Disney Legends Awards ceremony, and that's they're going to have Disney Chairman Bob Iger is going to be there for that.
Good.
And Robert Downey Jr. I guess is going to be. They're going to be honoring Robert Downey Jr., Jon Favreau,
oh good,
James Earl Jones, Bette Midler, Kenny Ortega, Barnett Ricci, Robin Roberts, Diane Sawyer, Ming-Na Wen, Christina Aguilera, and Hans Zimmer. They're all going to get awarded.
That's good.
Yeah. So that's coming up at 10:30 on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
At 11, they're going to have a masquerade, something called, it's a costume thing.
Oh, okay.
Showing different costumes. Hey, here's something great. At 12:30, they're going to have the music, I can't speak today, the music and sounds of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, good.
So some John Williams stuff. So with all the stuff and all the soundscapes that they have at Batuu, they're going to be paying homage to the rich legacy of Star Wars' music and the sound design.
Oh, great.
At 12:30, on the Disney Pavilion stage, they're going to have The World According to Jeff Goldblum. So,
oh, that's going to be interesting.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that one.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
And then at 2 o'clock...
Maybe we'll see him in Jurassic Park again.
Yeah, right. At 2 o'clock, they're going to... we get a first look at Vader Immortal.
Oh, okay.
It's a Star Wars virtual reality series.
Oh, okay.
So we get a first look at the Vader series. At 3 o'clock, at the expo stage, we have Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Ooh.
So they're going to have the whole cast there, which is great.
That's great, yeah.
See what else we got going on. This is all Friday, by the way. We're still on Friday.
Gotta get some autographs out of this stuff, too.
Yeah. So at 3 o'clock, 3:30, there's some drawings for Marvel stuff. At 4 o'clock, they have the Behind the Art of Disney Costuming.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
At 5:30, they have the High School Musical, the musical series. Sneak peek. They're on Disney Plus. They're bringing back High School Musical.
Well, that's good.
So they're going to have that.
That was always pretty good.
Yeah, sure. So that's all what's going on Friday at D23.
We're going to be busy.
Yeah, we are. And we're going to be covering it all. As I mentioned, Captain Rickster and I are going to be there covering all this for you guys.
We're going to be running like a bunch of chickens.
Yeah, we are. Try to get as many interviews as we can.
Definitely true.
If any of our fans out there have anybody that you know that's going to be at D23 that you would like us to interview, make comments on the video below.
Yes, please.
And we'll try to get an interview with them for you guys. Going back to YouTube, I see Dante is saying, if I say Mace comes back, he should be working behind the scenes, helping with filming. Oh, thanks, Dante. I would like to do behind the scenes stuff. So
maybe be a director.
Who knows?
That's right. Who knows?
I've directed a lot of stuff.
Yes, he has.
Okay, so coming back to D23 on Saturday, the main day, from 10 to noon, the Walt Disney Studios will provide a behind-the-scenes look at all their upcoming films.
Oh, that can be great.
This includes seeing the animation process from the Walt Disney Picture Studios and Pixar Animation, as well as seeing live-action shots. Who wrote this?
I have no idea.
I'm just reading this from the internet, but the shots probably meant it's going to contain footage from films in the Disney line, Marvel, Star Wars as well.
Yep.
At 10 a.m., they're going to have The Simpsons.
I didn't know they did The Simpsons.
They're going to make their debut as the Walt Disney family
Oh,
because
it's right, because it's Fox.
Fox
Yeah.
was the Simpsons, and they were purchased by Disney. So
That's right.
so they're gonna roll that out.
Well, you have to go on 30 years on that one by now.
It's been a long time.
I know. I know they did.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah, I know they did the 25th anniversary already.
Right. It's true. Okay, so what else do we got? We got from 10 to 11, the Women of Impact meet the Nat Geo explorers that are changing the world. Some women that explore the world. It's also part of the ESPN Presents as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to go on for a while. A bunch of stuff, and then some sneak peeks at some cartoons. Let's see here. They're going to, at 12:30, they're going to be talking about the Haunted Mansion, which...
Ooh.
That's something we didn't bring up. The Haunted Mansion celebrated its 50th
anniversary. Yeah.
That's right. You're right. So
Jesus, I'm older than it. Man, that's not good.
You're older than a Haunted Mansion?
I'm old. Yeah, that's why I'm haunted. That's why I'm there.
You're funny.
I try to be.
Yeah. Okay, so at 1 p.m., The Simpsons Trivia with Yeardley Smith. Yeardley Smith is one of the voices on The Simpsons.
Yeah, one of the voices on The Simpsons, yes.
Is she Bart Simpson?
No, that's...
or was she Lisa?
I think she's Lisa, because I think it's Naomi is Bart.
Oh, okay. I think you're right. Okay, so at 1 o'clock, 1:15 on the Disney Plus Pavilion stage, we have Marvel's Heroes Project panel.
Oh, this would be cool.
Yeah. 1:30 to 2:30, this is this secret Walt Disney Company project they're going to be talking about panel.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What do we got? It's a secret.
Really?
Okay, it's exciting. Okay, so at 2:30, Forky is going to come on and ask some questions.
Forky?
Remember Forky?
Oh, yeah, I remember Forky.
From Toy Story 4?
Toy Story 4, yeah.
So Forky's going to have his own panel.
Yeah, left it open for number 5, too.
Yep. At 3 o'clock, we're going to have the stars of television series Blackish, Grownish, and Mixed Up-ish come together for the Ish universe.
Yeah, okay.
It's the panel's headlined by Anthony Anderson, and I know Anthony Anderson. I went to high school with Anthony.
Wow.
Yeah, Anthony and Anderson and I go way back. In fact, he said he was the first project and the first movie he ever did was a movie I made in high school.
Oh, cool.
So I'm the first person to direct Anthony. So
right.
you were talking about directing, and he told me I ran into Anthony Anderson like a few years ago, and he told me, he goes, I had that on my resume for years, and you were the first movie I ever was in. It was a movie called After the War. It was kind of like, what's that movie about the Russians when they take over? It had like the Brat Pack kids in it.
Oh, Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of got the idea from Red Dawn. And it was about these high school kids that go camping and then the nuclear war happens.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was Libya who bombed us.
Oh,
remember when we had all the problems with Gaddafi and everybody's afraid of it?
Oh, yeah.
It was around that time. So that was called After the War. And it starred Anthony Anderson.
That had to be 100 years ago.
It wasn't 100 years ago. But we just had our 30th anniversary. So it was a while ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it was over 30 years ago.
It had to be sometime in the 70s?
No.
80s.
Late, almost 90s. 88. I graduated in 88.
So it had to be, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a teenager in the 80s. Remember I did the Ewok movie.
Yeah.
I was 14 and that was in 84, and that was before I met Anthony or went to high school. So it was the late 80s when I was in high school.
Okay, so it must have been
1988.
Yeah, okay.
Was the year I graduated. So
I'm just trying to remember when Gaddafi was doing all his problems.
It was around that time because that's why I wrote it.
Yeah, because I know in '90 we started dealing with Iraq.
Yeah, that's the Gaddafi stuff was over, but then it came back when he got killed under Obama.
Right, yeah.
So he kind of quieted down for a long time. Anyway, back to D23 at 3 o'clock. We have the Secret Society of Second-Born Royals question and answer with Peyton Elizabeth, and I don't know what this is. I'm not interested in it. 3:30. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean.
Really?
At 3:30, Disney on Broadway, a 25th anniversary celebration. That sounds interesting.
That sounds interesting. Cool.
3:30, Immersive Worlds, bringing stories to life in the Disney parks.
Oh, that'd be cool.
5 to 6, Marvel Comics. That should interest you. I know you're gonna love that one.
I can't wait I can't miss that one.
Yeah. So 5:30 to 6:30, Captain Rickster. Mark that on your calendar on Saturday.
All right, Saturday. Yeah.
It's Marvel Comics' 80th anniversary.
Oh yes, they've been out for 80 years.
And they're gonna have the Marvel editor-in-chief there, C.B. Selbowiski.
Yeah, he's the newest one now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's 5:30 to 6:30, and then we also got at 5:30 in the Expo Arena, a different area, a musical celebration of Aladdin.
Oh, okay.
So Aladdin. I can't wait to see that. Aladdin surprised me.
Yeah,
I was very happy with that movie.
It was a great live action movie. Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
Let's see. 5:30 at 6 o'clock. Travels with Marty, a conversation with Skylers and Imagineers. That's about Disney stuff.
All right.
Continuing on Saturday, there's a question and answer period with Bill Farmer, who's a Disney legend.
Yep, he is.
Okay, so coming back to, let's go back to YouTube. Hey, everybody on YouTube. Dante said, did you tell Rickster I'm going to make a T-shirt and with the sci-fi logo? I did not.
No, you did not. He did not say it.
I did not. I was going to surprise him. So if you could get an extra one for Captain Rickster, I'm sure he'd appreciate it, Dante.
Yes, I would.
Dante's a really good friend. He lives, I think it's somewhere in Pennsylvania. But we've been Facebook friends. He's a really good person, and he's a filmmaker.
Oh, cool.
And we've had a lot of great chats about, editing on the digital age. We both use a program called Avid Media Composer, which is the standard that the film industry uses. And the Avid system used to be called the Edit Droid, which was developed by...
You?
No.
Oh.
There's a connection to me,
And
but...
I can't remember who.
It's okay. George Lucas.
Oh, George Lucas, yes.
Is the one who basically created the Edit Droid, which later he sold the technology and it became the Avid Media Composer. A lot of people don't know that.
No,
But George Lucas's hands are in everything.
Yes, it is.
Everything sound-wise and everything digital-wise. You could thank that man for. Even the stuff that we were just talking about a minute ago, the Pixar.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Forky and Toy Story 4.
You're right.
The Pixar was a Lucasfilm company.
Yes, it was.
And he sold it to Steve Jobs.
Yep.
So he developed all that technology even right now that Disney uses.
That's right.
So George Lucas is a genius, and we all know that.
Hands down, he's a genius.
Yeah, so... Okay, so coming back to talking about D23, we have on Sunday, let's go to Sunday. Okay, it's the final day at 10 a.m. in the Expo Arena. They have the Little Mermaid, the 30th anniversary celebrations. Geez, does that make you feel old or what? The Little Mermaid is 30.
30, man. Yeah, it does make me old. Jesus.
That's amazing.
No kidding.
So, and also at 10 a.m. on stage 28, they have the behind the scenes of art of Disney costuming again.
Okay.
At 10 a.m. on a different stage, you have the Heroines of Disney Galaxies presented by Box Lunch. And they're going to have the host of that is Ashley Eckstein from the Clone Wars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember.
And her universe clothing. So, 10:30, Chairman Bob Chapek gives a look at what's in the future for Disney parks.
Oh, can't wait to see that.
Let's see what else we got here. 10:45, Pulp Culture Movie Prop Showcase. That might be interesting.
That might be interesting, yeah.
11:15, BR Chef Games with Angela Kensley. Yeah. 12 p.m. On the Walt Disney Archive stage. We'll host 2 hidden gems of Walt Disney animation.
Oh, cool.
Research library, preserving and inspiring the Disney legacy. So that's...
Oh, that's great.
Sunday seems to be a lot of tribute stuff. 12 to 1, Imagineering the Disney theme parks with Mark Davis in his own words. At 12 o'clock, Monsters at Work behind the scenes.
Oh, okay.
12:30 to 1, National Geographic's behind the scenes.
No, that's going to be good.
Up Your Brain with Keegan Michael Kay is part of that as well. 2 p.m. Inspiring Women Behind the Star Wars Galaxy. That should be interesting.
Yeah,
I know I have a good friend, Sarah Woloski, and my friend Richard, who have Skywalking Through Neverland. I'm sure Sarah Woloski will want to be a part of that. Behind the scenes stuff with storytelling with Women of Star Wars Galaxy. And the Art of Disney Storytelling, 3:30 Pixar's Spark Shorts screening. It must be a new short from Pixar.
Must be, yes.
Yeah. Yep. 4 o'clock, go on a magical journey with my fantastical Walt Disney Imagineering career with Kevin Rafferty. Guess he's had a great career with Walt Disney. At 4:15, we're talking Disney character voices. You know, like I guess for cartoons and stuff. So we're going to have a 30th anniversary talking about Donald Duck. The voice behind Ariel in a cartoon. Bill Farmer, who did the voice of Goofy and Pluto.
Oh, okay.
And Brett Iwan, who is Mickey Mouse, and Linda Larkin, who is Jasmine, Princess Jasmine, original Aladdin.
Okay.
At 5:15, we back some ESPN stuff, and then 5:45, Two Worlds, One Family: The Making of Tarzan.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we could go on forever. I mean, but we're going to cover it all for you guys. We're going to cover all of D23. We're very, very excited about covering it for you guys here at AllForSciFi.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Make sure, again, if you're on our YouTube channel or our Facebook channel, click the button so you get our notifications so you could see our live streams. Also, if you want us to interview anybody, let us know. So we'll try to grab more interviews, or if you have any ideas, you know, we're going to be covering it all. We're going to have many, many cameras too with us. Yep. So we're going to be.
In fact, last month, the oldest person alive who worked for Disney animation just passed away at 105 years old.
Wow, that's right. I heard about that.
He was the original artist for all the earlier comic books that ever came out.
Right.
For Walt Disney.
Amazing.
Walt Disney did their own there for a long time before Dell and Gold Key took over after that.
Right.
And the guy who did Gladstone, he also was another person who also wrote and did things for Disney also.
Right.
And he just passed away about a year ago.
Yeah, this year we got a lot of people passing away, and it's been one of those years already.
But he was 105.
Wow. Well, that's a great life, isn't it?
Yeah, he lived a long time, and he was the first animator
ever
to help Walt Disney make what he did today.
Right. For sure. For sure. And, you know, coming back to YouTube, Dante says, sure, he'll make a shirt for you.
Oh, thank you, Dante.
So, yeah. And he also mentioned that about how George created ILM, Industrial Light Magic, doing all the special effects in all the movies.
That's definitely true. Yes, he did.
He had to create it, so
someone had to.
He's a genius.
Very much a genius.
I also today wanted to give a quick shout out to a new community online that it's new to me, and I already feel like I'm part of the family, but it's called the CSWC, which is also known as the Community of Star Wars Collectors. And if you look here, let me back up.
Yes, there it is.
You can see I'm representing their new shirt. And if you see the logo over here on the other side too, it says Order 66 Toys, who also are, I consider, family, you know, with Jeff and Josh and Robbie and everybody out there. Love you guys. And shout out, if you ever want to get great Star Wars toys, go to Order 66 Toys. Hey, wait a minute, that rhymed.
Yes, it did, but they're in Allen, Texas.
Yeah, they are, but they're online.
Yes,
and every week they have a Friday night show where they have lots for sale, and whoever claims the lot wins the bid. It's kind of like an auction, but not like an auction. But if you claim it first, you could get it.
Yes.
But it's kind of auction format. So every Friday night they have a lot of vintage stuff, and if you look behind me, I started to put my stuff on display.
Yeah.
Some of my Star Wars stuff.
Over here so you can see.
Yeah, you see it. So yeah, so Order 66 Toys. Thank you guys for accepting me as part of your family, and also the CSWC Look for it online. And join their Facebook, the Community of Star Wars Collectors. It's spell it out, Community of Star Wars Collectors, or CSWC on Facebook. Join it so you can become a part of that community as well. I have their shirt. This is also their sticker.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, I want to get in the camera. There we go. So yeah, join the community.
Mm-hmm.
Represent. And we're pretty strong. We already have like almost 40,000 people.
Oh, that's not bad.
Part of this community. So thank you guys for accepting me into your community, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them. So let's get into the main part of the show. We're here to talk about Wu Assassins.
Yes, real nice.
Yeah, just Wu Assassins just came out on Netflix. It is a television series, and they premiered with 10 episodes.
Yep.
And let's talk about it. So Wu Assassins, basically Wu Assassins follows the story of Kai Jin, who is a young Chinatown chef.
Yep.
In present day San Francisco. He becomes basically entangled with these Chinese triads.
Oh yeah.
Who happens to be the leader of the triads happens to be his father.
Yes.
And somehow he gets conflict with them and their deadly ancient powers known as the Wu Jing. And I think I'm pronouncing it right because it is Chinese, and my wife is Vietnamese, and I do speak Vietnamese, and don't really speak Chinese, although that's a language I'd like to learn next. So after an encounter with this mystical spirit, this Kai, reluctantly becomes the Wu Assassin.
Yep.
So it's using his enhanced martial arts skills. The goal is to recover all the supernatural powers that are out there. There's five modern day uses of these powers that will destroy the world. They're the different elements.
Right.
There's the water Wu. Yep. There's the metal Wu. There's the earth Wu. There's the wood Wu. Did I say fire Wu?
No, not yet.
Okay, then there's the fire Wu. So they make up all the elements of the world. And what he needs to do, since he is the Wu Assassin, is he needs to get all those elements back to protect us all here. Otherwise, they could destroy the earth or take it over or wreak havoc or whatnot. Yeah. So it starts off really good. This movie, when the first couple episodes really had me entertained.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah, I was enthralled. The martial arts, the fight choreography was really spot on. It was, and I'm not usually impressed because some of you that know me know my background. They know that I studied martial arts for a little bit with people that actually studied with Mr. Lee. Right. I call him Mr. Lee because out of respect, but most of you know him as Bruce Lee.
That's true.
And so when I say the fight choreography is good,
it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
And
you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and it's some interesting stuff too. It's all easy stuff to do if you know what you're doing, but it was done right, and I was very happy. It was a neat thing to see, and the fight choreography all the way throughout this series, even though there's in the middle there they're telling more story, and they're not doing as much fighting, and then they pick it back up near the end.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough about it. And they have this guy who actually they have several people that are actually real martial artists playing different parts.
Right.
And in a way, that kind of hurts the acting a little bit. And that is my only criticism about Wu Assassins, is at certain times with a few of the characters, like Tommy. Remember the Tommy character who is the girlfriend? No, the brother of the guy who is almost the woman who's like a girlfriend who owned the lady who owned the restaurant that they took over from the parents. Her brother, at times, the person who played that character, let me see who he is.
The drug addict.
The drug addict guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's his name. The actor's name is Lawrence Cow. He plays Tommy Wah, who's Jenny's older brother.
Right.
The heroin addict, like you mentioned, and a member of he's a guy who wants to be a gangster too.
Yeah.
And
He's really not a gangster.
At times, his acting was not up to par. And again, that's coming from studying acting and being an actor myself. I caught him acting, and you don't want to catch an actor acting.
No.
Even though some people say, "What? You caught him acting? He should be an actor. He's acting." You know? No, I didn't believe him, and I caught him acting.
Right.
Several parts. Even the lead character, although he was good most of the time, there was a few times that lead actor, I caught him acting, the one that's playing the Wu Assassin. Not too much. Not as much as Tommy. But you, as an actor, you don't want to be ever caught. You want to use the magic of believing, and you want to make sure that your characters are real, and you don't want to ever be caught acting. And that happened a few times, and that might be, again, because they're using people that may not be as experienced. That's why it happens sometimes with the Wu Assassin as well. But overlooking all of that, it was pretty solid. I thought that the last two episodes, it was a two-parter. The last episode 9 and 10, and it didn't have to happen. They should have ended the show, the season.
Right.
Because what they did was they let him accomplish his mission.
Oh,
they let the Wu Assassin finish off everything and return all the elements to the heavens, all the Wu to the heavens, and then they're sitting there celebrating, and it's over. And then suddenly, the person who was one of his trainers, she played the character of Ying Ying, who was one of the basically the Wu gets the power of 1,000 monks.
Right.
And one of the main trainers was Jing Jing, and she was there through most of it, guiding him. And she shows up at the end, and the restaurant he's in, the restaurant is like breaking down, and she says, "The world still needs the Wu Assassin," even though he had already finished it. So
what else could be out there? If they've already finished that, then there's got to be something else out there.
You know, to me, I thought that this would have been a better movie and not a television series.
Right. You got that part right.
Yeah, I thought that this would have worked a lot more as just a movie.
Right.
Yeah, it would have been.
If it's gonna be like that, you never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like if it's already got it all done, what's the point of going on further?
Right.
Because you got to think of other characters or other things in it to make a second season.
Yeah. So I mean, again, those are some of the. That's why they should have ended it.
Yeah.
And they should have saved where he finishes and completes his mission. They could have, because they're going to come up with these stories for season 2 and season 3 anyway.
Yeah, true. But you know, it's got to be better than season 1.
Right.
Because each season's got to be better than the other before they do the climax.
And you didn't see too much like the water element woman,
right.
who you saw her in the past because she helped kill the guy who was after all of it, the one that was playing the Wood Woo.
Yeah,
not Earth. That was another guy. Yeah, the guy who was playing the Wood Woo. You see him. You see him trying to get his family back because the water assassin drowned his family. But of course, in the future, it's a different lady. She came on. She was played by Summer Glau.
Right. From
the Terminator stuff, and she was interesting. I mean, and she didn't come on until like episode 8.
Really?
Yeah. So she was a new character that was introduced near the end of the season. So they could have ended it when he captured all his friends. Yeah. They could have ended it right there, and they could have done half of another season on just
the water.
Yeah, not just the water, but they could have done it on
Yeah.
So
they could have, but they didn't.
They didn't do it.
It's weird. I like to know what's going on.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Because like I said, if they ended it on season 10 or episode 10, then
right.
Why are they gonna do a second season? I mean, who are they gonna bring out? You know, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of strange.
Yeah, it is.
So, Wu Assassins, again, I think everybody should see it. So I'm going to say that. I think everybody should watch it. So at AllForSciFi, we have a rating scale of 0 to 5 stars. Right. If it's 3 or lower or below, you don't have to go.
Right now.
We're talking about movies. Obviously,
Yeah.
Netflix isn't. So 3 or more below, you don't have to go. Wu Assassins, I'm going to give it above a 3. I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
I think it deserves that. It's
At least
overall,
that.
it's a good. It's got great martial arts action. It's entertaining. It's not. It only was a little bit boring in the middle, a little bit for 1 or 2 episodes, but it was hands down a good project.
Right.
Even though I think it should have just been a movie instead of 8 or 9 hours of a TV series.
Or if they're just going to do one season, just end it off with that. Don't do anything else with it.
Right. So that again is my only criticisms about Wu Assassins. So I'm going to give Wu Assassins a 3.5 stars. On the podcast, we're going to go ahead and listen to a trailer.
Yes.
Right now at this point in the podcast.
Yep.
Okay, everybody, we're going to come back here in the podcast. We're just giving some space for this. So I could play something on the other part. Okay, so we're going to come back now.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Yeah, that trailer's awesome.
What trailer?
Well,
yeah, I know.
That the fighting's great. The special effects are good. They're up to par.
Right, they are.
Great CGI effects, great editing, great martial arts, acting, good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, but still good for a Netflix show. It's
Right.
great. So Netflix, I'm giving your Wu Assassins a 3.5 stars, and everybody should at least watch it. If you're into martial arts, you should watch it just for that alone.
Yeah, just for that. Yeah, really good.
Coming back to YouTube, Dante has said he's watched 4 episodes of it so far.
Oh, good.
So, and he likes it. He thinks it's great. And if you're 4 episodes into it, the first 2 or 3 or 4 episodes are really good.
Right.
It's now going to lag a little bit, Dante, and then
5
it's going to pick up again.
7.
And I'm not saying I didn't like the final 2-parter episode 9 and 10. I liked it. I liked how it ended. But that should have been an ending for a couple more seasons from now.
Yeah.
To see where they're going. That's my only criticism. There you go. So everybody, I want to thank everybody for joining us.
Wait,
what?
Hold on for a second. We need to talk about the Good Boys. Just give them a little bit of a...
But that's not a sci-fi.
I know it's not sci-fi, but tell them it's actually a real good, funny movie.
Okay. Captain Rickster wants to talk about
Good
something
Boys.
that's not sci-fi, but we'll go ahead and spend a few minutes on that real quick.
Just a few minutes.
We went and saw the R-rated movie, even though it has kids in it.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Good Boys.
I didn't see anything R in it at all.
Well, the kids were talking pretty dirty.
Well, that's true, yeah, for little kids.
Yeah, so we went and saw Good Boys, and I would give Good Boys, if I'm giving it a rating, I would give it a 4.
Definitely a 4.
It's something you should see. It's funny.
Oh. Man, is it funny.
It's funny.
You can't stop laughing. It's
all the way through. Exactly.
Man.
It was nonstop. I got you on that, brother.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah. So go see The Good Boys. It actually was produced by Seth Rogen.
Yeah, it was.
And we all know Seth Rogen's great, right?
Yes, we do.
So, yeah, Seth Rogen produced The Good Boys, and I liked every part of The Good Boys.
Yeah, I did too.
There wasn't too much of it that I didn't like in that movie.
No, it was really good fun. I mean, I haven't laughed at the movie so long.
Right.
It was really a great comedy.
Yeah, I know it was good. It was definitely something you want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so The Good Boys gets a 4 star. Did I say 4 or 4.5?
4.
4. No, that's not a 4.5. Yeah, it's 4.
No, it's a 4.
Okay, so The Good Boys gets a 4 rating. So that was good. So we saw that and we talked a little bit about that. So everybody go see The Good Boys.
That's right.
AllForSciFi, we're growing. We're asking everybody to tell all their friends about us.
Yes, and like us on Facebook.
Like us not just on Facebook, but please go subscribe to us on YouTube, because in the future we're only going to be on Facebook and YouTube, mainly on YouTube.
Right.
So go subscribe to us and like us on Facebook, and you could also follow us on Twitter.
That's right.
Our handles are all the same. It's really simple. It's AllForSciFi, like it says right here on our logo.
Yep.
AllForSciFi. But put the words together. and no, you know, sometimes on sci-fi, if you look below that, they have the correct spelling. You have that dot hyphen in between it. Don't do that. Just the letters AllForSciFi. So that's how you find us.
Yep.
On YouTube, we are at All4Sci-Fi. On Facebook, we're at All4Sci-Fi. On Twitter, we're at All4Sci-Fi. And if if you want to have a great website that you want to go watch movie trailers, you want to read written reviews,
right.
You want to find out what's happening in the entertainment world or the world of sci-fi, go to our website.
That's right.
Our website is allforscifi.com.
Yep.
You go there, you could watch the latest trailer. In fact, we just had a behind-the-scenes look at Terminator Dark Fate with James Cameron.
That's right.
That was on there, and James Cameron was sharing some new stuff that he has with the Terminator Dark Fate, and I got pumped up when I saw that.
Yeah.
You know,
it's going to be a great movie.
Yeah, it is. Terminator Dark Fate. After seeing that, the latest stuff, wow.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. But yeah, so go to our website as well. Bookmark our website. And on our website, there's a contact page. You could throw a note to us. Tell us you like us. Say we're doing a great job. Say we're doing terrible. If you have any suggestions